sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Sports with Eric Hicks. I am your host, Eric Hicks. Today, on this show, we're going to talk about, the first thing rather we're going to talk about, because we're going to talk about a lot of things, but the first thing is the Baltimore Ravens. Now, as well as you and I both know, they were under contract negotiations with Joe Flacco. Well, they have finally reached a deal for him. This deal is going to be a 6-year deal for $120.6 million. Now, if Joe and his agent look over the contract and agree to sign it, Joe Flacco will become the highest paid player in the NFL, the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. And right now, currently, the highest paid quarterback in the NFL is Drew Brees at 5 years, $100 million. So if Joe Flacco signs that, he will indeed be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. So, with that being said, I think that if you look at the regular season, his stats, he threw for over 3,800 yards passing, 22 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Matter of fact, let's show you on the screen his postseason. This guy went ham. He threw 11 touchdowns and 0 picks. He joins Joe Montana as the only player in the postseason to throw 11 touchdowns and 0 picks, which is unbelievable. When you look at, he had to face the Indianapolis Colts at home, their only home game in the playoffs, which was the wild card matchup. Then they go on the road to Denver in the divisional conference round, where they had to go through, I believe, 2 overtimes to get the victory. And Joe he was lights out. And then the last game, the conference championship game, the rematch, as everybody would like to say, as I know I would like to say, the Ravens and the Patriots. Joe showed out. The Ravens did what they normally do, is show up and play hard, and they finally got over the hump to get to the Super Bowl and to win the championship. So, in my mind, Joe showed up in the postseason, and he did earn this contract. So, if his agent and him agree to it and sign it, he will be the highest paid player. So, with this being done, now the Ravens can move forward and look to sign the other players that they have. And let's look up on the screen right quick. Let's pull this up, and you will actually see the free agents that Baltimore has. Right now, there are 7 free agents that, to me, I think that are deadlocks to signing. First, you have Bryant McKinney, who was the tackle for the Baltimore Ravens. I would look to sign him. Arthur Jones, Danielle Ellaby, linebacker. Last season, he had 69 tackles, 4.5 sacks. Paul Kruger, Kimiatu, the defensive tackle. Dennis Pitta, Ed Reed, Kerry Williams. They both had 4 interceptions, but Paul Kruger especially, he led the team with 9 sacks, so I think they should definitely at least try to sign their defensive players, because on offense they're pretty well, but the Baltimore Ravens, they were known for the defense, and since Ray Lewis is retiring, you gotta have your linebackers, you gotta have your defensive ends ready. So I definitely think that they should sign these players, and hopefully they can work out a deal where they can get all of them signed, because if they can do that, Baltimore can definitely, I believe, make another run for the playoffs. So I'm just wishing them luck, and hopefully they can get it going. The next thing, guys, I wanted to bring to you was last week I said that I thought that the Cardinals were the odds-on favorite to get Alex Smith, but unfortunately the Kansas City Chiefs, unfortunately I was wrong, and the Kansas City Chiefs got Alex Smith. He's actually going to be traded there for a second-round pick that the Niners will receive from the Kansas City Chiefs. So I think it's a good move for Andy Reid. He's going to be the first-year head coach there in Kansas City, and so Alex Smith has played in this type of West Coast-style offense, so I'm thinking that's going to be a good look for Alex Smith. We just have to wait and see what he can do. I've heard a lot of people think that, well, he's no better than their quarterback, Matt Castle. But, Alex Smith under Jim Harbaugh, he played really well, through the starts that he had last season, obviously, before he got the concussion. So we just have to wait and see if Alex Smith can be the Alex Smith that he was in San Francisco before he got injured. The other thing is we have more free agents, people. It just seems like this free agency pool is just extending and just getting bigger and bigger by the moment. On your screen, you're going to see potential free agents that are going to be up for free agency. I know the Falcons released 3 players. Atlanta Falcons released Michael Turner, Dante Robertson, and John Abraham. Although with John Abraham, it's kind of up in the air with him. There were reports that were saying that he may or may not, be out the door from Atlanta. Right now they're cutting a lot of players to get under the cap space, so they can have time to re-sign players or go out into free agency and get players, or the draft or what have you. So, if John doesn't find anything, then hopefully he can re-sign back with the Atlanta Falcons, because last season he did have, he brought a lot of great pass rush for the Atlanta Falcons defense. So, we'll just see what happens. Not the Atlanta Falcons, the Philadelphia Eagles, they released Cullen Jenkins and Mike Patterson. And along with the 49ers, they released Randy Moss. Randy Moss, he will not be back with the San Francisco 49ers. He pretty much had a disappointing season. He didn't really get a chance to have a lot of playing time, because I know when I was watching the games, and he was supposed to be the starting wide receiver right next to Michael Crabtree, I really didn't see the 49ers use him a lot, in certain situations. Down in the red zone, they used him a couple of times, and I wasn't used to seeing the Randy of old, the Randy that breaks through coverage, catches the 60, 50-yard passes for a touchdown. That was the Randy Moss that I was used to seeing. So, this last season was pretty disappointing for me as a fan of Randy Moss, because he's a pretty great player, and it was just hard to believe that he didn't have the play to get a chance to play like he normally would. So he will not be back there. So hopefully Randy Moss can find a team, a competitor team that that's going for a championship, and hopefully he can get on there and play, because I honestly think that Randy Moss still has a lot left, and hopefully he can do something with that. The next thing that we're going to talk about right now is the NBA, and of course there were reports out that point guard for the San Antonio Spurs, Tony Parker, he's going to miss about a month of play due to an ankle sprain. So the Spurs right now, they were playing the Detroit Pistons, and they should be already on to a victory, I believe. Yeah, right now my phone, it's 114-75. So their current record right now is at 47-14. So with Tony Parker being out, and we're going to show you their last remaining games on this list. With Tony Parker being out, like I said, their current record is 47-14. So they have a lot of home games, which is going to be good for them, since they will lose one part of the big three, which is Tony Parker. But as long as you got Duncan and Manu Ginobili, I think they should be fine. But, hopefully we'll see. But the home games would definitely be some sort of an advantage for the San Antonio Spurs. They play March 6th against Chicago, Portland, OKC. Then they go on the road against Minnesota. Then they're back at home, Dallas, Cleveland, Golden State, and on the road against Houston. So pretty much for the month of March, they have a lot of home games. And on into April, they have pretty much three home games and the rest of the road. So hopefully right now they can keep winning, because they're trailing. Only the Thunder are trailing them probably about 2.5, 3 games. So, it's going to be iffy for that number one spot, and especially for the number one overall record in the NBA, because whoever has the number overall record in the NBA, if that team makes it to the finals, will have home court advantage throughout the finals. So, it's going to be interesting to see if the San Antonio Spurs can keep that up with Tony Parker, because right now he's averaging 21 points and 7 assists a game. So Hopefully the San Antonio Spurs can get it going, but we'll see. One other thing about the NBA is I want to mention that Magic Johnson has gone on record saying that he will offer LeBron James $1 million to participate in the slam dunk contest. I mean, I don't think I can dunk, but for $1 million, I would at least try myself. So I'm hoping that LeBron can do it. Obviously, if he does get the $1 million, he's going to give it to the charity of his choice. But I really want to see LeBron. And LeBron, if you're watching this, for real, if you're watching this, please participate in the slam dunk contest. I mean, you're a beast when it comes to dunking. I'm a fan of it, and everybody out there that's a fan of LeBron James, we all want to see you in the dunk contest. So please participate in next year's dunk contest, because I really definitely want to see you there. I know for me, the one thing I liked about the slam dunk contest when I watched, I saw people like Vince Carter, I saw tapes of Dominique Wilkins, Michael Jordan. They both brought a power style of dunking. Sean Kemp was another one. As long as you had the hops and then the power with it, it's just something about those two combinations that just, to me, it brings you to awe. So I really definitely want to see LeBron participate in it, and if he can, hey, that would be great. So please, LeBron, participate in it. Well, that's going to do it for Sports with Eric Hicks, but tune in next time. We're going to have more of the sports that you love. Please subscribe to my channel, Eric Hicks. Look forward to seeing you guys later. Thank you.